Good evening, folks, and welcome to the game tonight between the SAIT Trojans and NAIT Ooks. I'm Colton Pankey on call tonight, and what promises to be a good tilt. Both these teams kind of looking to pick up a win tonight. For the Trojans, it's been 9 straight with that one, and while the NAIT Ooks are on a mini 2-game slide themselves. And a big game for both teams. The Trojans are chasing down 4th place in the division and able to get into the playoffs, while the NAIT Ooks sit 1 point shy of the Red Deer College Queens for first place in the ACAC standings. We get set for the opening draw. The Ooks crawl it back and come in over the Trojans line. Here's a shot for Schellenberg's first shot of the game, but it goes just wide. It comes up, and Schellenberg's able to cover up. Good start there for Schellenberg, who's able to get her first stop out of the way. A good season for both her and Kieran so far. Schellenberg with a 3.65 goals against average, but that doesn't tell the whole story. She does have an impressive .906 save percentage on the year. The Ooks are able to win this draw, bring it back to the point, but that gets blocked. And the Trojans are able to chip it out to center. Ooks regain possession back behind the net and carry it back up over their blue line. They have numbers coming across, but that's blocked off. Good play by the Trojans defender there. Ooks are able to get it back in front, attempt a shot. That's blocked. Another one on net, stopped by Schellenberg. The Trojans grab it behind the net. That's Schmidt. Makes a nice move around the Ooks defender, then gives it away to the point, and the Ooks are back in, the puck behind the net again. Play it out front. Schellenberg blocks that pass off, and the Trojans are able to clear it to center ice, where the Ooks turn it right back up. Ooks with it at the point. Fire a shot on net. That's blocked by Schellenberg. And the Ooks once again play behind the net, where the Trojans will gain possession. Attempt to clear it, but that's stopped at the blue line by the Ooks defender. Trojans just looking to get possession of this so they can get in a change. A lot of tired skaters out on the ice. The puck's back to the point, but Stewart gets in the way of that lane. That shot's on net, stopped by Schellenberg again. Puck is stuck in behind the net here. Got a couple players battling for it, and the Trojans are able to chip it out. And that puck will just be dumped out by the Trojans back behind Oots' end, and that will be an icing. So a quick start here for the Ooks that have gotten a couple shots on net right away, but Schellenberg so far has been up to task. 3 saves so far. She looks like she's dialed in. The Ooks again win that draw. Back to the point, and they'll play it behind the net. Attempt to bring it out front, and Schellenberg blocks that pass once again and covers up. Trojans are able to get that puck out, but the Ooks do play it back to their own blue line. They keep that puck in, but the Ooks once again corral it, and they look to bring it out of their own zone, which they do. Coming across center ice. That's Hannah Paquette that's able to get that puck deep, and they're in on the forecheck. And once again, the Ooks keep the puck in, but Echo Kirk's back with the puck now. She moves it over to Alexa Brown, who's able to throw it up the wall. Picked off by the Ooks again. They throw a quick shot on net, but that's blocked by Kirk. And Brown comes around with it behind the net. She plays it up to Alex Bomback, who's able to get it out just briefly, but the Ooks come right back in with it. And once again, bring the puck behind the net, but it's blocked off by Brown. Chip back to the point. Bit of a battle here in the middle. The Trojans do come up with it, are able to get it to center ice, where it's corralled by the Ooks again. Coming on the attack, throw in on net, that's blocked away by Schellenberg. That was Josie Nichols with that shot on net. Now Cheyenne Harding comes around, throws it out to the middle. But Taylor Premack's unable to corral it. And the Trojans have a chance to get this puck out. And they do. That's Kira Stewart able to advance the puck past center ice. And now the Trojans have possession in the Ooks zone. Look to throw a puck in front, but that's blocked off by the Ooks. They'll come back to center ice. In over the line. And back behind the net, where they've really set up a lot of good plays from back there early on in this game. So far haven't been able to solve Schellenberg. Now the Trojans with it. This is Brown behind her own net. Throws it up the wall. Battle between two players on the half boards there. Back to Brown, and she'll just fire it out of the zone. Nearly caught the Ooks there. It's just about a too many men penalty, but they were able to get their skates out of the way. They possess it back in their own end, play it up to center, and they're in over the line once again. That was assistant captain Wyona Craig trying to bring it to the middle, but she got blocked off by a Trojans defender. Now here's Cass Little with the puck. She moves it to her point. A shot, but that is blocked. Good shot block there by Nikita Schmidt, and the puck is back into the Ooks zone. They come forward with it once again. A good defensive play there from Piper Alexander, who's able to not only block the shot, but advance the puck up. And now it's Alexa Brown carrying it across the ice. She gets it in deep. The Ooks come around with it. They look to chip it out, and they're able to do so up the middle. And that was nearly a breakaway opportunity for the Ooks forward, but blocked off by Samantha Willie. Good play there. Now the Trojans with it back over the line. A shot on net, and that is stopped by the Ooks goaltender. Her first save of the night. So far, some pretty back and forth play. We've seen a few good plays off the rush by the Ooks, but overall the Trojans have been up to task, and Schellenberg and net, as mentioned, has made a few big saves already to keep her team in it. As mentioned, the Trojans enter this one on a 9-game losing streak, so really looking to pick up a win as they're 10 points behind for that final 4th and playoff spot in their division. And meanwhile, the Ooks are 1 point behind the Queens for first place. So a big game for both teams here tonight. I'm sorry, that's Olds College that the Trojans are trailing in the standings that they're looking to catch up to down the final stretch of the season here. Here comes the Ooks over the line. That was Jessica Engelbrecht, but she was cut off. Now a scrum behind the net. The Trojans will try and throw it out, but that's stopped at the point. Bit of a battle on the wall here. We might look to be an odd man rush for the Trojans there for just a second, but instead they put the puck deep. Kira Stewart in on the forecheck, and she's causing havoc behind the net. Tries to get it out front, but that's blocked off by an Ooks defender, and they will get it out past the blue line. Now it's the Ooks coming up the ice. This is Charlize Salas, but that gets blocked, and it's back going, the Trojans going the other way again. Some very back and forth play here early in this first period. Coming up the ice now is Paquette. She moves it to the middle for Salas. Goes over the line, shoots. That's stopped by Schellenberg. Right onto the stick of a Trojan, and they'll be able to get that puck out. Up past center, look to get it deep, and the Ooks have possession. They come across their own blue line. Bring it into the Trojan zone. This is Sierra Moniak. She's met by a Trojans defender. Now that's Amy Goatkin who was able to get the puck in deep for the Trojans there, but the Ooks are coming back once again. Shots forced wide. Schellenberg sticks it into the glass. And here's Brown with it behind her own net, skating it up. She's not able to chip it by. There's a battle for the puck along the boards in the Trojans' end. Now this is Alexander with it behind her net. She's able to pass it up to Tamron Ward. Gets up to the blue line and gets it in, up to the red line and gets it in deep. Ooks the other way, a stretch pass there. Just missed the stick of Bree Martin, who was in alone behind the Trojans defenders. And a shot there is tipped in front by Cheyenne Harden, just goes over the net, just past Schellenberg. About 9 minutes into this first period, 0-0 score so far. The Ooks with 4 shots on net, the Trojans 1 to this point. The Ooks are looking to get another here, as they do, and Schellenberg's up to task, blockers that to the corner on the shot by Little. Bit of a scrum again in the Trojan zone, like we've seen quite a few times this period, early this period. Another shot on net, glove by Schellenberg. She's unable to hold on, but she does get to the rebound and takes a bit of exception to the late whack from Craig in front. Again, great performance by Schellenberg early on here. She's now made 7 saves as we're not quite halfway into the first period. The Trojans are able to win that draw, something that they haven't had a lot of success in earlier in this game, but if they can do that, that could definitely result in some more chances over the second half of this first period. The Ooks are able to get the puck back into the Trojans' end. Played in front, and once again, Schellenberg blocks that pass. We've seen that a few times from her already in this one. Very good stick when Ooks players have that puck behind the net. Now that's Blight. Giving some shots in the corner. She looks to get the puck back, and she has it tied up along her skate, but it is now loose. Advanced by Bolema. She gets it up to just about center ice, and that's blocked off by NAIT. Throw it back into the Trojans' end. This will be Schmidt with the puck. She looks to rim it around the wall, but it doesn't quite get to her teammate. Now a chance in front, but Schmidt's there to block that up, and she will be getting a penalty. A shot on net stopped by Schellenberg. This will be Schmidt going to the box, it looks like, for body contact. A good call there. She did a good job to get back in that shot lane after a bit of a giveaway to block it, or to get rid of the scoring opportunity, but there was a collision, and the Trojans will be on the kill for up to as long as 2 minutes, depending on whether or not the Ooks are able to convert here. Obviously, being second place in the league, the Ooks do have a very good power play, but this Trojans team has been able to battle all season long, just like they did last, win on the penalty kill. We'll see which one is able to prevail here. Trojans get the first shot on net. That's easily turned aside. And the Ooks are able to bring it back across the line. And with it is assistant captain Michaela Kibblewhite, who's also the 3rd leading scorer in the ACAC. It's turned over, and the Trojans are back the other way. They throw a light shot on net that is covered up, and there will be a whistle down in the Ooks end. So just over 30 seconds into this power play for the Ooks so far, and not a ton generated just yet. The Trojans are doing a good job of attacking them right away. And as mentioned, Kibblewhite, 3rd in ACAC scoring this season, trailing Cheyenne Harden, her own teammate, who sits 2nd in that regard. 2 Ooks having a very good season. And as for the Trojans, Brianna Blight is having a good season of her own. She leads the Trojans both in goals and points on the year. The Ooks look to bring that puck across, but it is offside. We have about a minute of 4-on-4 hockey here, as the Ooks did take a penalty about 20 seconds ago. So we've got 4-on-4 for the next minute, 2 seconds. That draws one back by the Ooks. And Josie Nichols gives it across. Now it'll be back into the Trojans' end, where it's a big whistle after it. That's Bolema for the Trojans, back behind the net. The Trojans are able to come away with it. Team captain Piper Alexandra carries it around, and she'll go for a bit of a skate here. Nice move as she carries the puck up ice. She's still got it, but that will be blown for an offside. This is a bit scrambly past the red line there. 30 seconds left for the Trojans player in the box, and then they will have about a 38-second power play here where they will look to get on the board in what is still a 0-0 game. Trojans get the puck up over the blue line, look to throw a shot on net, but that's blocked away off the stick of Jessica Engelbrecht, and puck goes out of play. So there will be a face-off down in the Ooks zone. A pretty good back and forth game so far here. There really haven't been a ton of great scoring chances for either team. That said, Schellenberg has made a couple good saves early on to keep her team in it. The Ooks are able to win that draw, but it's the Trojans at the blue line. That was Kirk that looked to throw that on net, but that got deflected away. Now the Ooks do gain possession behind their own net. Just 5 seconds remaining in this Trojans penalty in before they go on a brief power play. And that will do it. The Trojans player skates onto the ice. We've got about 35 seconds of a power play here. But it's the Ooks right now that control it behind the net. Paquette was showing some great toughness behind it. She's able to pin that puck along the boards, but the Trojans do take it away. Brown skates, but again, Paquette's there to meet her. That may be a penalty, and it is. It looks like Paquette will be taken off for 2 minutes once the Ooks are able to touch up. For right now, the Trojans will try and capitalize with the extra skater on the net as Schellenberg goes to the bench. Here's Brown behind the net. Carries it up to the red line. She moves it up. The Trojans are now over the blue line. The Ooks skater has came to the box, so it's a brief 6-on-5 here. Trojans still in possession, and now the Ooks will touch it as that shot by Wiley was blocked. So Paquette was doing a great job on the penalty kill, killing time off the clock, but got a little bit too aggressive after she lost the puck, and I believe they're calling this 2 minutes for body. Yeah, body contact is the call once again. Just a little too over aggressive in the corner there. And now the Trojans will have their first power play, since that other one was very abbreviated, of the night, and they'll look to capitalize on it and make it a 1-0 game. Trojans so far, oh, the pass is fanned on, and the Trojans will have to regroup back at their own red line here. This is Wiley carrying it up. She moves it across, and now it's back to Alexander on the point. Looks to throw it on net, it's deflected wide. Wiley again, puts it back to the point, a shot, and that's kicked aside, but the Trojans do grab the rebound. Alexander on the half wall, shoots again, and a glove save. So a couple good shots here from this Trojans power play. Not a lot of traffic in front, which is obviously something they'll like to change to kind of increase those scoring chances, but being able to get pucks on net is huge. So far through the first about 14 minutes of this period, the shots are pretty even. 7 for the Ooks, 5 Trojans. Trojans win this draw back and throw another puck on net, but it does sail wide. The Ooks look to clear, but Schmidt gets in the way of that. It does, however, come back to center ice. Now Schmidt will carry it back behind her own net. Pressured by an Ooks forward, but she is able to move it up ice. Bit of a scramble here on the center ice area. The Trojans do get it back now. It's Blight coming up with a full head of speed. Looks to make a move, that's blocked off. Back to the point, the Trojans do keep it in. Going D to D right now, a shot on net, that's blocked in front, but the Trojans get it right back. That's Schmidt again, plays the puck on her stick, goes to shoot. And that's saved. Some good traffic in front that time. Bit of a difficult save, but the Ooks goaltender is up to the task. So 34 seconds remaining in this power play for the Trojans. They've gotten some good opportunities here. 4 shots on net on it. It's been obviously not the goal they're looking for just yet, but they are getting a lot of pressure off of it. The Ooks are able to win this draw. Look to fire it down, and that does go through the legs. And down to the Trojans' end. That was Bolema who that went through. Now Bolema has the puck. Controls it behind her own net. Leaves it for Alexander. Just 10 seconds remaining on this Trojans power play. Alexander up to the blue line, carries it in. She's got a full head of speed. She's in alone. Oh, and that's stopped. A great chance by Alexander there, who just used her speed to blow right by all the Ooks players. Now we are back to even strength. The Ooks will play this one up to center ice. Carry it over the blue line, a 1-on-2. That shot off a Trojans defender, and that was a bit difficult for Schellenberg. She sailed just wide of the net. Now Lowen's able to gain possession around the wall, but the Ooks do get it back. They fire it on net, and there's a goal. That's tipped in net tipped right in front from Engelbrecht. I didn't see who actually put the shot on, but Engelbrecht's able to get a stick on it. No chance for Schellenberg. And the Ooks kill off the penalty and make it 1-0 immediately after. Like I said, I missed who that shot pass was from, but a great play right onto the stick of Engelbrecht, and she was just able to put it there for the easy tip-in past Schellenberg, who, like I said, had no chance. That's a tough one for the Trojans to give up right after that power play, where they had a lot of great opportunities, but if they're able to just stick with this game should remain tight. That puck goes out of play at the Ooks bench. We'll have a whistle. Oh, inside it looks like. Inside to the right of the Ooks goaltender. Bit of a scrum along the wall. The Ooks take it behind their own net as they look to get this puck out. And they're not able to, as Kirk holds it out on the back end, and then a shot from the Trojans goes just over the net, out in front, and that's covered up. Again, some good pressure here from the Trojans, who really do seem to be building momentum despite giving up that opening goal. They're really kind of turning it on right before and seem to be sticking with that despite giving up the first one of the night. Shots even at 8 apiece right now, as we are about 15 minutes through this first period, just over 15 minutes. Bit of a scramble in net, but the Ooks are able to come away with it. Play it off the glass, but that is kept in by Schmidt. And still kept in now. That's Kaylee doing some great work, and she's able to put it behind the net. But it's met by an Ooks defender who plays it out to the middle of the ice, and it is the Ooks coming across center now. In over the line, played across. That was played across for Cassidy Chandra, but she was unable to corral it. And then the puck comes back out, but Schellenberg, once again, as she's done several times tonight, is able to block the pass out in front and cover up. This Ooks team, there's a reason that they're second in the league standings this year. When they come across center ice, they just have so much speed that they really force these Trojans defenders to back up, but which kind of gives them a bit of room, but you have to respect the speed they do bring. It's a tough matchup. That puck is shot on net from Bree Martin and easily gloved by Schellenberg. Another face-off to the right of her coming up. Alexander on the draw is able to win it back after some good determination. And the puck comes back behind the Trojans' net, but the Ooks do take it. They play it back to the point. A shot is blocked by Kieran. Sorry, that was Ward on the shot block. The Ooks do have it. They push it behind the net, but Ward's able to get the puck back. Now Kirk with it on the half wall, but it's turned over. The Ooks have it on the point once again. Played across. And another shot's gloved by Schellenberg, and another face-off coming up to the right side of her. That glove hand from Schellenberg's been busy tonight. She's made a lot of clean saves with it, not a lot of rebounds. Looks very dialed in into this one so far. The Trojans will look to give her a goal to help her out and even things back up as we are beginning to come to the end of the first period here. This is Brown behind the net, plays it up, but it hits off a stanchion. Weird bounce there. Ooks look to take a shot, but that gets blocked. This is back to the point. Now the Trojans have it again. Schmidt plays it across to Brown, who spins, plays it up the wall. And Kaylee's able to get it to center ice, but the Ooks will get possession again and fire it in deep. That's Jessica Engelbrecht on the dump in. Schmidt grabs it up. Schmidt makes a nice move around the Ooks forward there. Is able to get the puck back to center, but once again, the Ooks will take over. Coming up at their own blue line, they play it up to center ice. They're in across the line. That was Martin plays it in front, but no one home. And Brown is able to clear to center ice once again. But again, Martin coming across the line with great speed. Makes a good move. Shoots it on net. That's blocked by Schmidt. Blight looked to play it out, but that was blocked by an Ooks defender and kept in. Ooks keep possession, play it in front. And that was not far off the stick of Engelbrecht. But now the Trojans are able to get it out. This is Blight. But again, the Ooks defenders just past that blue liner. Proven hard to get past. Now the Trojans get it with some space. Here's Kira Stewart. Takes a shot. And that's saved and held onto. Oh, some relentless pressure there for a few shifts from the Ooks, but the Trojans were able to weather the storm. We'll now have an offensive zone faceoff with just under 2 minutes to play in the first period. For those just tuning in, it is a 1-0 lead for the Ooks right now. The shots are 10-9 in favor of the Ooks in what's been a fairly back and forth game so far. Ooks are coming across the blue line. They look to play it out front, but Samantha Wiley's there to take away any sticks. Puck back to the point. Looks to be a shot, but Amy Gotkin's able to get a stick on it. Now the puck comes to Elisa Earhart, who brings it up to center ice. She's able to chip it past, and she's in, chasing the puck in behind the Ooks zone. Gets pressured off here, and the Ooks look to take it out. They play it up to center ice, but nobody's home, and that will be an icing. Good hustle there from Blomit to beat out the race. The one thing you would like to see from this Trojans team, if they can change it going into the second, is a bit more opportunities, chances created at 5-on-5. Obviously, they had a lot of shots on their power play earlier in the first period, but other than that, there hasn't been a ton of shots created at 5-on-5. But speaking of that, one right there that was just ripped wide. I believe that was Perry that put that just past the Ooks goaltender. A great opportunity. And that's exactly what I was getting at. If you can get shots off like that, this can be anyone's game, because they are showing that, at least defensively, they're up to the task when it comes to containing these Ooks through the first 20. Now it is the Ooks coming over the line, but that will be an offside. That was Taylor Pernak who looked to bring that over, but her teammate was just a step off, and the faceoff will come just outside to the right of the Trojans goaltender. Alexander on the draw for the Trojans. She's able to win it back. And that was Schmidt that looked to play the puck up to Ward, but just out of her reach, and this one will come back for an icing. It's 34 seconds remaining in this opening frame now. Ooks up 1-0. Thanks to a goal from Jessica Engelbrecht on a tip pass right in front of the net. Again, Alexandra on this draw wins it yet again, as we've seen from her many times in this period. This is Schmidt behind the net, plays it up to Ward. He's able to drop the defender, and the puck will get to center ice. The Ooks play it back. This is Schmidt on her own blue line, backhands it up to Ward, just over her stick. Ooks with it at their own blue line, play it up, but that's blocked again in the neutral zone by the Trojans. Ooks do corral and send it in behind Schellenberg. This is Brown with it. And Chandro's right on her. Chandro takes her to the ice. The two are still battling. Paquette's able to play it away, but Ward's able to get in front of that pass, and the period will come to an end. So again, for those just tuning in, it is 1-0 Ooks, thanks to a goal from Jessica Engelbrecht. The shots are 10-10 apiece in what's been an exciting first period. We will be back right after the flood. Welcome back, folks. We're just about ready for the second period here, about 50 more seconds. For those who missed the first, it is a 1-0 lead for the Ooks. who were able to get a goal off the stick of Jessica Engelbrecht, who put her stick out and tipped home a great pass. So yeah, 1-0 Ooks lead. Shots are tied up at 10 apiece in what was a pretty back and forth first period. As mentioned before the game, the Ooks trailed the Red Deer Queens by 1 point for first in division standings. Meanwhile, the Trojans are 10 points back of the Broncos for that fourth and final playoff spot, making tonight's game a crucial one. For positives for the first period, especially for the Trojans, they really were able to contain the Ooks for the most part. Didn't give them a ton off the rush. The shots they were able to get through, Schellenberg was up to the task. And they themselves were able to generate some very good opportunities, including a couple chances late. One from Earhart that sailed just over the net, and another from Perry that went just by the glove hand of Sydney McMullen. Two penalties aside in that first period for the Ooks, just one for the Trojans. And as mentioned, that second penalty that the Ooks did take, the Trojans generated some very good scoring chances. I mean, the Ooks will have to be careful here, make sure they stay disciplined, because that Trojans penalty looked quite dangerous on their second and final opportunity. As for the Trojans, they have to continue to make sure they respect the speed of the Ooks, who several times came with the puck over center ice and just came with so much speed that it forced the Trojans defenders to back up a little early and give them plenty of space. But again, as mentioned, when they were able to get those shots off, Schellenberg was up to the task, other than the goal coming up the stick of Engelbrecht. And now we are underway in the second period here. The Ooks carry the puck over center ice, look to get a shot off, but that's put to the corner. And Schmidt was able to play it up to the blue line, not quite out. She does the same again, and this time it will go past the Ooks defenders. Back into their own zone. This is Taylor Pronak with it. Puts it back to Nichols, who plays it up. And the Ooks will come back with it again, but that puck looked to be an icing, but Pronak beat it out, and she has it behind the Trojans' end. Plays it in front. Bit of a scramble, but Schellenberg's able to find it and hold on. Some good hustle there by Pronak to beat out what was going to be an icing for the Ooks. Now there will be a face-off to the right side of Schellenberg. There's many things you notice with this Ooks team that goes to show why they're so successful this season. One being the breakouts. Anytime they have the puck in their own zone, it seems like just one or two passes and they're going back the other way with speed. Something the Trojans will need to make sure they're careful with moving forward. Ooks have it back behind the net. This comes back to the point. That's Cruikshank that puts it wide. Good in miscommunication there from the Trojans, and the Ooks are able to still keep it in. Cruikshank with it back on the point once again. Plays it across, but this will come out. It passes a bit offline. That was Wyona Craig that looked to put that in deep, but it goes out by the Ooks bench, and there will be a face-off outside of the Trojan zone. That puck's won back by the Ooks, and they get it deep. That's Hannah Paquette that's able to put it in behind the net, and she's hard in on the forecheck. Ooks still have it, feed it in front, but that is gloved by Schellenberg on a shot off the stick of Hardin. It's mentioned in the first period as well, but that would be the 12th shot of the night for Schellenberg, and it seems like 8 or 9 of those have went directly into the glove hand. She's really allowed no rebounds tonight. Everything's just sticking to her, which has made life a lot easier on these Trojans defenders. Stick handle behind the net is Engelbrecht, who's already got one on the night, plays it in front. A great play there by Engelbrecht, but Schellenberg on her backside is able to find it and cover up. And what was the best scoring chance we've seen this game since the Ooks were able to put the first goal on the board. A very good save by Schellenberg to keep her team, to keep the deficit, pardon me, at just 1-0. Chandro for the Ooks is able to win the draw, and they get a shot on net from the point Pernack, but that's stopped by Schellenberg. Ooks again have it behind the net. They look to bring it to the front, but that is eventually taken out. But again, the Ooks right back on it, bring it right back in. This time it's Robertson over the line, shoots it high off the glass. Ooks back with it again, look to cycle it down low, but this time it's blocked by the Trojans, and Alexander has it behind her own net. Chips it forward to Lowen, who's able to briefly get it out, and here comes Alexander over the line. Stick handle away behind the net. Just swarmed by Ooks players there who are able to take it back. They look to chip it out, but that's blocked at the point. Erhard with it, battling along the boards. The puck's still up for grabs, just hanging on inside the Ooks end, but it will come out now. And there's a battle, but won by Erhard. The Ooks, however, do pick it up. There's a shot on net, but that is put just wide from the stick of Pernack. The Trojans are able to advance it, but that's kept in by the Ooks and played deep by Hardin. This one's back at the point. That's Kibble-White that's able to get it in deep again. Again, Kibble-White third in ACAC scoring. And one of the people she's trailing, who's in second, is her own teammate in Cheyenne Hardin. The two Ooks players having just fantastic seasons for scoring. As mentioned, for the Trojans, their leading scorer is Riona Blight, who herself is having a fantastic season. This faceoff will come outside at the Trojan zone. To the left of Schellenberg. The Trojans are able to win that one. And they throw it up to center ice. The Ooks will chase it back into their own zone. And that was Sydney Colby who won the race, but she fired it into the Trojans bench. So that will result in a faceoff inside the Ooks zone to the left of Nick Mullen. Little on the draw for the Ooks, but she isn't able to win it as the Trojans come away with it. Throw it in front. And that wasn't far away from Asha Cayley, who was just a couple inches away from having a great scoring opportunity in front of the net. Now the puck back into the Trojan zone. They put it up the wall, and there's Cayley into the middle. And over the line. That was Kira Stewart who had the shot blocked, and Stewart's got it again behind the net. A sharp angled shot there from Blight, but that gets blocked by the Ooks, and they're back the other way. Bree Martin looks to bring it into the zone, but it's taken back behind the net by a Trojans defender, who throws it up the side to Stewart. She's still battling. Stewart still with it and is able to chip it out to center ice. Ooks look to play it back in deep, but that's cut off. However, Maddie Rutz gets the puck right back and fires it in behind the Trojan zone. Trojans again try to put it out, but Rutz again is there to block that one off. Now the Trojans finally get it to center ice, but again are unable to get it deep. This time that was Cheyenne Hardin with the pressure that just would not allow the Trojans forward to get the puck in to the Ooks zone. So we've seen it many times, this Ooks team in the neutral zone, they just seem to swarm on every and any Trojans player that gets the puck. A very well-structured team. They will carry it up again. This time that was Chandro that puts it in deep. A battle in behind the net between Robertson and Brown, which will be whistled dead after Schellenberg. It popped out front to her and she was able to put her glove on it. And there will be a face-off coming up on her left-hand side. So just past the 5-minute point of this second period here. The shots have been 4-0 for the Ooks in this period to give them a 14-10 lead in that department, but still just a 1-0 score. This puck comes back to the point for the Ooks. It's Nichols making some moves. She passes it off. That was shot on net by the Ooks defender, but Schellenberg again is able to corral it. No rebound. A very solid start from her at this point. She's frustrating these Ooks players. It seems every puck they put on net is just being swallowed up instantly with no rebounds for other players in front to capitalize on. And as we've seen, the one goal that beat her tonight was one that she just had simply no chance on a great shot pass. The recipient being Jessica Engelbrecht. That's Samantha Wiley, plays it back. The Trojans do get the puck to center ice. Looking to get it deep, but again, cut off by this Ooks team. Puck behind the net for McMullen. She stops it. And Nichols plays it D to D. Puck's up to Pernak, who is able to get it up to center ice, but that's blocked off by the Trojans. However, the Ooks get it right back. And it's Pernak again, coming over the ice. She makes a nice move around the defender. In. Saved by Schellenberg, but the puck does pop out. And Schellenberg's able to get back and make another big save. There was a brief second after that shot from Pernak where she didn't know where the puck was, and it looked like an empty net, but she was able to slide back across and make a great pad save. That puck was played in by the Trojans, touched by a high stick by Craigie, and the face-off will come back in front of the Ooks goaltender, Sydney McMullen. Yeah, just a couple great saves there from Schellenberg. First on Pernak, who was in alone, and then I didn't see who got the rebound opportunity. It took Schellenberg a second to realize where the puck was, but when she did, she slid across and made another great pad save to keep this just a 1-0 score. That was Stewart with the puck for the Trojans, briefly behind the net, but she had it knocked off her stick. Now the Trojans have it back at their own blue line. The Ooks look to put it in deep, but that's cut off. The Trojans have possession again just inside their own blue line. They play it up to center, and Stewart will get it deep. McMullen up to stop it behind her own net. She was pressured by Kaylee, but made a great play to get it across to her defenseman. The Ooks are battling with it at the blue line, and it's not quite. Now they're able to just clear it from their own zone. A scrum along the Trojans' bench. Scrum continues, and now the Ooks will come away with it. It's Martin over the line. Looks to put a shot on net, but that's blocked and comes in front. The Trojans have it. Play it up to center ice. Alexander makes a move. Still at the red line. Now Stewart makes a move of her own, and she's able to get it deep. Some nice skill displayed by Stewart there. That was Warden on the forecheck for the Trojans, but the Ooks were able to prevail and have it just past center ice. Rutz puts it in deep. And that was Brown behind the net, chips it up the wall. Blocked off by Paquette. The puck is behind the Trojans' net. Now an opportunity to clear here, and they do. It's up to Ward. She's up to center ice, makes a nice move. She's in. It's a 2-on-1 Trojans. Feeds it across. And that just couldn't. Alexander wasn't quite ready for that pass. A great opportunity there as Ward made a phenomenal move at center ice to give them that odd man rush. Now the Ooks do have the puck behind the net. They play it, but Ward is right there to block it off. It seemed to catch her a bit by surprise, however, and the Ooks were able to get it back. This is now Cheyenne Harden over the line. She throws a shot on net, and Schellenberg makes the save. No rebound. It's a fantastic opportunity there as Tamron Ward was able to chip that to herself over the Ooks stick, over the Ooks defenseman's stick, and came in on a 2-on-1. Looked to be shooting, decided to feed it across to Alexander, who I think was caught off guard and wasn't able to get much of a shot off. Nonetheless, she did manage to put one on net, and McMullen was there to make that save. And then at the other end, shortly after, Schellenberg was up to the task on a shot she faced as well. And the Ooks control it in the Trojans' end. Throw one low on net. And again, up into the midsection of Schellenberg, and no rebound. These Ooks have really come out with a purpose in this second period. They are just relentless on pucks, not giving the Trojans any time. It seems any time a Trojans player does have the puck on their stick, they have at least 2 Ooks players right in their face taking it right back. And it shows in the shots as they are 9-1 for the Ooks so far in this second frame. But here come the Trojans now, potential odd man rush. Oh, they look to play it in front, but Cassidy Chandra was able to get back and make a fantastic play to block it on what would have been a great scoring opportunity. Trojans, however, keep battling. They have the puck in deep. And a shot there off a bit of a scramble from Kaylee goes just wide. Now the Trojans are back at center with it. Look to play it in deep, but that's picked off by the Ooks, who throw it back to the Trojans. They're able to get it back up to center ice and get it in behind the Ooks zone, where Kirkshank was able to play that up the wall. And again, the Trojans have it back behind their own blue line. They get it up to center ice, and Blight is able to put that in deep, and Ward's in on the forecheck. But Kirkshank takes it away from her, plays it up the wall to Pernak. They get it up to center ice, and this is Harden in over the line, moves it to the middle, and that's sent into the corner. Now here's Ward with it, just chips it at her own blue line. It goes down the ice. Does it have enough for an icing? It does not. A good chip there by Ward, but just the right amount on it, and she'll go for a change. Now the Ooks have it the other way. Look to play that puck in the middle for Pernak, but it was a bit in front of her. It'll come behind the Trojan zone. Behind the Trojans' net, excuse me. Still behind that net, it's Schmidt. Chips it up along the wall. The Trojans are able to get it by. And here comes Alexander. Alexander in alone. Backhand, she sends it just wide. As she had a lot of pressure on her there from Hannah Princeton, who was able to stick with her and force her to shoot that puck just wide of the net. A great opportunity from Piper Alexander there, who's been flying around so far in this one. Now the puck's at center ice, just in front of the Ooks zone. A bit of a battle, but they will corral it and take it back. Up to center again. And that was Princeton that's able to get that puck in deep behind the Trojan zone. Gets wrapped around. Galtkin was just able to get that puck out, and now it's back in the Ooks zone, where Bree Martin will corral it. She's still got it. Tries to take it up by center. That's blocked off. Now it's back on the point to Julianne Crozier, who plays it up to Wiano Krejci. She gets the puck in behind the Trojans' end. Her and Cass Little putting great pressure on the Trojans' defenders here. Now the puck's back to Rutz. She plays it across. Shot on net there from Julianne Crozier. No rebound. Some great back and forth hockey these few shifts. We've seen, despite the Ooks controlling the majority of the period, the Trojans have had a couple great scoring opportunities on these last few shifts. A breakaway there from Alexander not long before, a 2-on-1 rush between Ward and Alexander, and as mentioned, Alexander just feeling it right now. Seems to be creating something every time she hits the ice. Would not be surprising to see her get on the score sheet, not in the very near future here. That puck was brought in by Wiley, who made a nice move, but it does get blocked off, and the Ooks have possession just inside their own blue line. They play it up to center ice. That was blocked off, and the Trojans will come back the other way, but again, a turnover. There's been a lot of neutral zone play between these two teams tonight. This puck will come to Josie Nichols. She looks to get it in deep, but is unable. But immediately after, Harden does put it in behind the Trojans' net. In on the forecheck is Julianne Crozier. That puck came in front. Schellenberg sticked it away. Back to the point for the Ooks. They play it along the half wall. And a shot on net there from Cruikshank is steered aside by Schellenberg into the corner. The Trojans do get it to center. They'll chip it into the Ooks zone, where Cruikshank again takes it, and she'll go for a skate. Plays it up, where an Ooks forward is able to get it in on Schellenberg, who covers up for the whistle. A good call by Schellenberg there. She had some tired teammates on the ice, as you see them go for a change right now. You know, the shots in this period compared to the first, definitely more lopsided, but this Trojans team is showing excellent fight. Just needing one shot to get back into this thing, and who knows what can happen. As mentioned, this is a big game for them, as they're still looking to catch the Olds Broncos in the ACAC standings for that fourth and final playoff position. The Ooks, on the other hand, are looking to get back ahead of the Red Deer Queens, who they're currently trailing for first place by just a single point, while having 2 games in hand. That puck was played back to the point. That was Crozier with a great opportunity, but another big glove save by Schellenberg. She is just as dialed into this game as you can be. You can see it right from the beginning. A couple of the saves she made early on. Just no rebounds, and sometimes it's just as simple as getting those few shots nice and early to really get yourself into the game, get warmed up, and she is just in the zone right now, causing mass frustration to this Ooks team. But they keep coming. They're over the blue line again. However, that one's blocked. Oh, and nearly a Trojans breakaway there. That was Stewart that looked to be free for a second. Now the Ooks have it back again. That was fired on net by Rutz, but sailed just wide. Now Crozier has it plays it behind the net. That's thrown out in front by Little, but covered up once again by Schellenberg. About 15 minutes through the second period here. The shots heading into this one were 10 apiece, but now the Ooks hold a commanding 23-12 lead. Unable to solve Schellenberg in this period, however, the only goal still beating her, a first period deflection by Jessica Engelbrecht. Ward looked to get that puck out, but the Ooks are able to keep it. She'll get a second crack. And again, the Ooks force it back in. Ward again, this time was able to chip it out for a brief second. But now the Trojans have it again behind their own net. This is Ward again along the half wall. She plays it back, still in possession. Plays it back to Alexander, who gives it behind the net. And a fan pass there. The Ooks nearly took that away, but it is out past center and headed down into their zone, and Alexander is hard on it. She's able to force the turnover. Alexander behind the net. Plays it out front. And nothing able to come of that, as Lowen had a great opportunity but was tied up by an Ooks defender. Lowen again in on the forecheck, forces the Ooks to go back behind their net. Princeton tried to play it, blocked off by Alexander. Alexander plays it back to the point, a shot, and Ward in front with the tip, and just went out the outside of the pad of Sydney McMullen, who I'm not sure seen that one. A great opportunity again there from the Trojans to tie this game up at 1. Now the Ooks have it in the Trojan zone, throw a shot on net, but that's blocked on the way. The Trojans will clear here, get the puck to center ice, and that's Hannah Brattard puts that puck in deep. Brattard again on it on the half wall. The Ooks do get the puck back behind the net. They play it around. Josie Nichols with it. Gets taken off her stick, back behind, where Cruikshank will take it up. Moves it ahead. The Ooks get it to center, but that's as far as they'll get as the Trojans fire it right back down. Now Nichols again fires it up, and look out here. We've got numbers for the Ooks. That's Robertson with one nice move. Puck ends up in the corner. Back to Nichols along the point. She shoots, and that goes just wide. Puck out front again, but the Trojans play that to the side. And out of play. That one coming off the stick of Blight, and there will be a face-off in the Trojan zone. Still a 1-0 game here as the Ooks are up thanks to a goal from Jessica Engelbrecht. The shot's 23-14 for the Ooks. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this second period. Another shot on net is tipped, goes wide, and nearly put home by an Ooks forward off the bit of an odd bounce off the glass, but it does go wide and is now back for the Ooks on the half wall. Back to the point. That was Kibblewhite that sent a shot just wide, but the Ooks gain control once again. And a nifty play there from Bree Martin, who showed some great stick handling in the middle, put another shot just wide. Ooks still remain in control. Now the Trojans are able to get it to center, but Julianne Crozier is right there and fires it right in behind Schellenberg. Ooks again on it. Now the Trojans are able to take this, and they're coming away to center ice with numbers. They get it in deep off the stick of Sydney Wood. Or pardon me, sorry, that was Blight, sorry, that put that one in deep. And she's got it behind the net now. Looks to throw it in front, but that's blocked away by Crozier. And the Ooks will take it up to center. This is Paquette over the line. Paquette looks to shoot. Blocked off her stick. Now Ward comes away with it for the Trojans. She's at center ice. Looks to make a similar move like she's made earlier in this period where she got its good scoring opportunity. A skilled forward for the Trojans, especially when she gets some space. Now Paquette takes that one at the end of a shift and just fires it down. That will be an icing, so the faceoff will come back down into the Ooks zone. With just over a minute to play in this second period. If you just took a look at the shots, you get the impression that the Ooks are heavily outplaying the Trojans, but it doesn't necessarily tell the full tale. In fact, as far as grade A scoring opportunities go, you could argue that the Trojans have had more in this period. Especially Alexander, she's been all over the net. To break earlier that went just wide. She's had several great opportunities. The ones that have gone on net, McMullen has been up to the task for the Ooks. The Ooks do get it in deep, but are unable to get by Kirk. She plays it up, and the Trojans will get to center ice. Unable to get it in deep, however. As Cassidy Chandro broke it up, but she does bring the puck in on an offside. And a fairly clean game here, as we haven't seen any penalty calls in this second period. Just 3 in the first. 2 that went to the Ooks, 1 to the Trojans. The Ooks power play was shortly lived, as just a minute in, they picked up their 2-minute minor for body contact, but the Trojans' second opportunity on the man advantage resulted in them getting plenty of scoring chances. And then in there, I didn't catch which Ooks forward that was, but a big save by Schellenberg to keep it squared up, to keep the score at 1-0. That was Chandro that was in alone, but Schellenberg made a great blocker save. Now the Ooks have it again. This is Nichols up with speed, cuts in. Looks to jam it past Schellenberg, but she had the post stuffed, no room there. That's a very big save, as this Trojans team will just look to go into the break with just the 1-0 deficit. Just 15 seconds, less than 15 seconds remaining in the second period. That would have been a backbreaker of a goal to give up. A clutch save there from Schellenberg, like several she's made tonight. A big draw here from the Trojans. Kibblewhite on it for the Ooks. Kibblewhite is able to win it. Ooks push it behind the net, but Alexander's there, rims it around the boards. Trojans play it to the point, but the Ooks do keep it in. Just 5 seconds left. Throw it behind the net, but that's blocked off by the Trojans. Alexander takes it, and that will end the second period. Again, the Ooks do hold a 1-0 lead. That was a first period goal on a tip-in scored by Jessica Engelbrecht to give the Ooks the 1-0 lead, as they still hold that and hold the decisive lead in shots at 25-14. However, this is still anyone's game. As we saw, the Trojans generated tons of great scoring opportunities in that period. Just one of those going in the third, and we're back in a tie game. But we will see you back for the third period. And welcome back for the third period here. We have seen the Ooks get up to a 1-0 lead on a first period goal since Jessica Engelbrecht, and since then, no offense. Both goaltenders have been incredible. Kaylin Schellenberg stopping 24 of the 25 shots she's faced so far, while Sydney McMullen has been perfect, stopping 14 of 14. That second period seen 15 shots total for the Ooks and just 4 for the Trojans, but doesn't tell the whole story, as the Trojans had several great opportunities that either just went right by the net or were stopped by McMullen, including a breakaway in the second period by Piper Alexander. Should look to keep these Trojans rolling in the third period, as they'll look to get on the board and tie this thing up at 1 apiece, as the third is now underway. Puck's back into the Trojans' end. The Ooks come away with it, fired on net. That's saved by Schellenberg off the stick of Martin. Good save there early by Schellenberg, who looks just as ready for this third period as she has been for the other two so far tonight. The Ooks have it behind their net. They cut up the other way. It's Martin with it. The Ooks in over the line. This one in. A great opportunity stopped by Schellenberg. That one came off the stick of Martin once again. She was in alone there. And Schellenberg got a piece of it with the glove. Pardon me, sorry, that was Craigie. A big save there by Schellenberg. 2 already this period to keep her team in it. Puck behind the Ooks end now. Nichols plays it across. They get it up the middle, and the Ooks will come back the other way. They put it in deep. This is sided. The net shot here is stopped by Schellenberg, and she will cover up. This one's starting to get a little scrappy now. You can see the Ooks forward who shot that, and Schmidt going back and forth at it a little bit. Robertson talks to her, trying to calm her down. We've seen something not long before that going on between Ward and Craigie as well, as they traded a pair of slashes skating to the bench. The Ooks win this draw back on the point. Schellenberg sticks that off the glass. And Chandro takes a high stick look to draw a call, but nothing coming from the refs. This is played back to the point, and the shot on net just goes off the outside of the net. A close opportunity there from the Ooks. That was Crozier from the point, but just sailed wide. Now Chandro plays it across. Chipped back in by the Ooks and picked up by Martin. Skates around with it at the top of the circles. Back to Crozier at the point. A shot, and that's blocked. A great shot block there from Kaylee, who had straight off the ice. And in on it is Blight down in the Ooks end. Plays it behind the net. The Ooks do battle with it, and Martin will come back up. Plays it to the middle. And Martin is able to get the puck in deep. That's Paquette in behind the net. She falls down. But Engelbrecht's there to back her up. The only Knights goal scorer so far. She fires one on, but that goes straight into the glove hand of Schellenberg. And we will have a face-off just to the left side of Schellenberg. Shots now 30-14 for the Ooks. Alexander on this draw for the Trojans. And she wins it like she has so often tonight. This one's back to Schmidt behind the net. She plays it up. It's turned over, but she's able to get it right back. Chips it to herself behind their net. Now plays it up the wall. That's Ward. Is able to get the puck up, but throws the body there. She will be getting a penalty for this one. I would imagine that's body contact. Interference, sorry, is the call. She doesn't like it, but a bit of a hard one to argue. Set a bit of a pick almost, which did work for getting that puck out, but didn't go unnoticed by the referee. So the Trojans will be sent to the kill for the second time tonight. Earlier in this game, in the first period, they were on the kill briefly, but the Ooks took a penalty as well just halfway through that minor. So this could be the first full kill we have to see them go through tonight on what has been a very good Ooks power play this season. Brown looks to play that out, but that's blocked by the Ooks. Now battle for it. This is Blight for the Trojans, battling against 3 Ooks, who they come away with the puck. To the middle, now on the half wall. They send it back to the point. A good opportunity is stopped by Schellenberg. Big pad save by Schellenberg off the stick of Martin. Martin with it again now, skating around. She's been flying early in this period. Looks to take a shot from a sharp angle. That's blocked by the stick of Kirk. Brown plays it around. And now that's Robertson behind the net. Comes out front, still with it. Plays it back to the point. A shot sails wide. Brown plays that off the glass, but not out. Ooks have it once again back on the point. To the middle, and that's just fanned on by Robertson. Off a great pass from Pernak there. This shot coming off the stick of Martin. A big shoulder, off Krakey, a big shoulder save from Schellenberg. And the Trojans are able to clear it after Kirk takes a bit of a awkward check into the board. She's a little slow to get up and is going off for the change. She must have got a little banged up there. Now a 3-on-1 the other way for the Ooks. A shot safe, Schellenberg, rebound back out. And that's off the post. Just misses there. The Ooks players were celebrating, thought that one found the back of the net, but off the crossbar. They still have it, however. A shot from a bad angle. And that's stopped by Schellenberg and out of play. A bit of a odd change from Kurt there, but as mentioned, she had gone down awkwardly in the corner, so I think she was trying to go back to the bench with maybe a bit of an injury. And that gave up a great scoring opportunity for the Ooks, who came in on a 3-on-1. But Schellenberg was up to the task on the first, and the second was rung off the crossbar to keep this still just a 1-0 score. Now we're having a bit of an official, or a bit of a conversation with the official, pardon me. I'm assuming maybe about that hit that Kirk took. Brown was talking to him, steps away. This faceoff will be just outside the Trojan zone to the left of Schellenberg. The Ooks win it with just 20 seconds remaining on this power play. They get it in, but not for long, as Wiley is able to send that one down. It comes back, but now Brochard fires it the rest of the way. And the Ooks have it behind their net. Now just 7 seconds remaining on this power play, so that should do it. But the Ooks are coming back the other way. In over the line, they look to play to the middle, that's blocked off. Another shot in front, but that hits little of the Ooks before getting its way to Schellenberg. And now a breakaway the other way. Here's Ward in alone. Ward makes the move, scores! Tamron Ward, right after on the penalty kill, comes out of the penalty box, is in alone and makes no mistake. A nice move to the backhand past McMullen, and this game is tied up at 1 apiece as she celebrates going to the bench, and rightfully so. A very good game for Ward so far, who's made several great plays. We've seen some good hands displayed by her all night tonight, and did just that on that breakaway. She's able to tie this game up with the Trojans. That's a huge goal there, as they had several opportunities tonight, but were unable to find the back of the net, and that's changed. We'll see if they can build off that momentum. Over the Trojans, the Ooks are coming back the other way. They take it to the side of the net, throw it in front, and that doesn't miss by much, as Martin looked to get a stick on that in front, but tipped it wide. Now back behind her own net was Brown. She was hit off the puck, and it looks like the Ooks may be getting a penalty for that. Sorry, maybe tripped off the puck, as it will indeed be Bree Martin going to the penalty box. 2 minutes for tripping. So right after the Trojans tie this one up at 1 apiece, they are handed a power play where they will look to take the lead. If you remember earlier in the first period, the Trojans did have a power play late where they weren't able to score, but had several great opportunities. We'll see if they're able to change that on this one and put another past McMullen. Faceoff's a second delayed here, as we look to have a bit of an equipment issue, but things are sorted out now. The draw coming to the right of McMullen. It's in this referee's skates, but won by the Trojans. Back to Alexander on the point. She feeds it across. That was Balerna. She feeds it to Alexander with a shot. It's out in front. And that's stopped by McMullen, and now in the corner where the Ooks will look to fire it down. And do just that. It is blocked by Baloma at center ice. The Trojans have it again. This is Alexander back at center. She makes a move, but a fallen Ooks player along the boards blocks it and now comes back the other way. Alexander's hard on her, bumps her into the boards, and the play is put behind the net, and Alexander gives her an extra shot. No call on the play. Now it's Balema behind the net. She feeds it up to the recent goal scorer, Ward. Ward in over the line. Puts it in deep, just over a minute remaining on this power play. Ward continues with it, carries it around the net. Drops it back to Balema, who makes a move. Balema's in, fires a shot. That's blocked by the Ooks defender, but not cleared. The Trojans again have it on the point. A shot from Blight sails just wide. A battle on the half wall, as Kaylee was in on that one. The puck's back to Alexander, picks it up, plays it low. Trojans with it behind the net. Look to feed it out front. That goes through some sticks and is at the other side. That puck was fed back to the point for Blight, but out of her reach and will come back into the Trojans' end. Blight's back. She has Robertson right on her. Robertson steals the puck, feeds it in front, but Wiley's able to take it away. Trojans did get it out to center ice, but it's back in their own end. Just 10 seconds remaining on their power play. Blight plays it up the side. Stewart tried to make a move, but it was intercepted by the Ooks, who fire it back in. And now Brown is back with the Ooks forward right on her. She plays it up the wall. That was Kaylee that got it in. That power play has now come to an end. Back to 5-on-5. Wiley's unable to get it out. The Ooks are in. Feed it across, and that's just wide. The puck's out in front, a bit of a scramble. That was Kibblewhite. It was just out of her reach, and she looked to bank it after, but Schellenberg was there to get a pad on it. Now Kibblewhite again in the high slot. Skating with it, puts it back in behind the net. That's Martin with it, gets blocked out. Kibblewhite walks out from behind the net. She's got a puck on a string right now. She shoots. That's tipped just over the net. Those deflections, that's how we've seen the Ooks get on the board in the first period, as Jessica Engelbrecht was able to break the 0-0 score at the time. Tamron Ward has since scored on a breakaway right after she took a penalty to tie the game back up at 1 apiece, and that's where we sit with just under 12 minutes remaining in the third period. Now the Ooks come back, throw a dribbler on net, and that's gloved and held onto by Schellenberg. That was Kibblewhite with that shot. That's a player you always have to be careful of when she's on the ice. As mentioned before this game started and throughout, she is third in ACAC scoring right now. Trailing second place, Cheyenne Harden, who also plays for this NAIT Ooks team, wearing number 24. The Trojans win that draw. Schwint plays it up the boards. And that's able to be chipped out by Godkin. And coming the other way are the Trojans. They get it in deep. That's Erhard putting it in behind the net. Battle for it right behind McMullen. Ooks look to come away with it, but the Trojans once again force it in deep. And that's Erhard again on it. She's being supported along with Godkin. But the Ooks do come away with it, play it up to the line, but Schmidt looked to keep it in, got rid hard into the boards. It does come back out to center, but the Trojans are in possession. Oh, however, a turnover. Ooks are in the other way. That's Pernak, but she gets it behind the net, looks to feed it in front. It's on the stick. Well, good save by Schellenberg. Off a good backhand opportunity from Krakey in front. Another costly turnover here by the Trojans. That came off the stick of Godkin, as they're tired and just looking to get this puck out of the zone right now. Godkin again at the walls, unable to corral it. This puck comes into Schellenberg, and she'll cover up, as her team desperately needed a face-off there. Some tired players out on that ice. That's one thing this Trojans team will have to be careful of. Those turnovers, especially in the neutral zone. The team that has this much speed in the Ooks, those can be very costly. They're able to get away with that one, but not something you want to do against this team, especially with a player like Pernak coming back with it. Trojans win that draw, play it to the point. The Ooks look to throw behind the net, but it hits a few bodies, and it will be played out by Kirk. Now the Ooks take it in their own zone. hard on this forecheck with Stewart, but the Ooks do get it back to the point. Brown throws it in, and now Stewart will get it in deep. Blight's in on the forecheck. She forces a turnover. A shot on net there from Kaylee, but it was blocked. Now the puck's behind the net in the corner of the Ooks zone. Now the Trojans did look to free it, but it looks like they may have tripped up a player on it, and there will be a call here. I'm not sure who got that, but I believe it will be a tripping minor. Looks to be Kaylee, as she looks a little bit surprised to see that she was the one receiving it. Bit of an argument, but to no avail, and the Trojans will be on the kill here now on a huge opportunity for the Ooks as they look to take the lead back. However, they have been unsuccessful. 0 for 2 on the power play so far tonight. Trojans will look to keep that trend continuing. Ooks win the draw, played across, a shot from a bad angle by Shayana Harden, sails wide and ends up going out of the zone. And back with it is Josie Nichols. She skates all the way back behind her own net. Comes up with it now, full head of speed. She comes up to center, she's still going with it. Gives it off. Now back to her alongside of the net. She looks to bank it off Schellenberg, and that puck did cross the line. Interested to see what they call this here. The referee has not signaled for a goal just yet. He's looking for the linesman to come over and talk to him. Well, the linesman seems to believe that the call just instantly was a goal as he skates right back to center. The referee has still yet to point that there was a goal on the ice. That puck did get behind Schellenberg, but the question is whether or not the whistle went first. He did appear to blow the whistle without realizing that the puck had gone past Schellenberg's pad. So it will be curious to see what they call here, because from where we are up here, it looked as though the referee blew that thinking Schellenberg had it covered. I don't think he had any idea that that did, in fact, go behind the goal line. If it does stand, that will be a 2-1 lead for the Ooks. If not, they are 25 seconds into the power play, and this could be coming back to the Trojans' end. But what should give the Ooks hope here is that both linesmen didn't even seem to look at the referee, just skating back to center as they thought for sure it was a goal. So as long as one of them seen it, they may be able to convince the referee to let this one stand. They're still talking about it at center ice here. It's a bit of a string, and they do call it a goal. The penalty, the tripping penalty to Kaylee proves costly. They do call that one a goal. Alexander's standing looking for an explanation from the referee. Obviously not down on the ice, but have to imagine he's letting her know that his linesman did see it. I mean, again, from like I said, up here, we could tell that that puck did indeed cross the line. It was only for a brief second before a Trojans defender pulled it back out from in the net, but that was in the net for a quick second. And you'd have to imagine one of the linesmen spotted that and let the referee know. Still plenty of argument going on here between both Tamara Mord and Piper Alexander as they talk with the referee. Clearly not fans of the call. Have to feel for Schellenberg here, who's just played outstanding all night. Made a couple saves just right there before that puck was finally jammed in on that sharp angled shot. So with that, the play will go back to even strength as Kaylee has come out of the box, and the Trojans will once again be looking to fight back and even this game up as we are just past the midway point of the third period. Shots now sit at 38-16, showing just how good Schellenberg's been on this night. On the other end, however, McMullen's made several great saves, especially in second period, to keep her team right in this game. As mentioned, if any tuned in late, the Ooks trailed the Red Deer Queens by just a single point for first place in the ACAC women's standings, showing just how big this game is. But perhaps even more so for the Trojans, who trailed the Olds Broncos by 10 points for fourth and final playoff spot, as they need to desperately pick up some wins here to get back in the hunt if they hope to see the postseason. The referee is now explaining this to the Trojans coaches, who obviously didn't like the call on the ice either. Felt that the whistle may have gone before the puck crossed the line, which was hard to tell from this vantage point. As said, you can tell the puck was in the net, but it was close as to whether or not the referee had blown the whistle beforehand. He certainly did not know that the puck had went in the net, as he did not signal for a goal at any point, seeming to think Schellenberg had it covered. However, his linesmen, both of them it appeared, did see the puck go in the net and let him know. So plenty of arguments still going on here. Obviously never seen a call reversed like this, but the referee's explaining what happened. The coaches appear happy enough with the explanation, even if they don't like the result, and the play will get back underway here. Puck is now dropped. The Trojans are able to win the draw. That's Alexander, but she turns it over seconds later. Bit of a scramble at the neutral zone. That puck's played in by the Trojans behind the net, the Ooks corral. They get it near the blue line, but not out. Alexander with the puck on her stick, plays it to the middle. And a good save there by McMullen on a great response shift from the Trojans right now. Again, that's Alexander, who's just been flying around, making things happen all night. Have to imagine she gets on the board before this one comes to an end. Now the Ooks come the other way, a 2-on-2. Play it to the middle, but that is picked up by Brown, who rims it around the wall. A bit of miscommunication there, and Lowen's not able to get that puck out. The Ooks now gain possession on the half wall, play behind the net for Martin. She looks to play it out, but Brown's all over that. Skates around with it, she's at the hash marks. Chips it to the boards, and she is able to get it out. She's still got it, in fact, at center ice, and gets it in deep, and now Brown's in. She's got another save going to the net, throws it on, but that's stopped and covered by McMullen. No rebound. Brown there, after some great effort, you can tell was at the end of the shift, just tired, trying to get down. Didn't realize she had Kira Stewart driving to the net, that she would have been able to feed that one out. Nonetheless, took the shot, and no rebound was there as McMullen held it tight. Face off to McMullen's left is won by the Ooks. They carry it up to center. Look to kick it in deep, but that's broken up by Belorma. However, the Ooks do bring it back again. It's coming in from a sharp angle. That's stopped by Schellenberg. A good save there by Schellenberg. As the Ooks forward looked to go short side on her from a tight angle, she was able to get her shoulder up and cover that top corner. Trojans cleared it momentarily, but the Ooks are back in. This time it's Chandra with the puck. Chandra's got it behind the net. She cuts in front. Is unable to get a shot, but plays it back to the point. It gets just past Ooks defenders, and they'll regroup at center ice as Chandra looks to clear the zone. Ooks with it at center. They play it in deep. That was Princeton that got it in behind the net. Belorma for the Trojans is able to play it up the wall. Not out, however. It's on the point for the Ooks. They shoot. That's tipped around a few times. Schellenberg the save. Rebound, and Schellenberg makes a huge save. Denying Martin from what would have gave the Ooks a 2-goal lead. Massive save from Schellenberg, who's doing everything she can to keep her team in this one. Now the puck's up the wall for Ward. She has some time, corrals it, looks to pass it out in front, but Blight was at the end of a shift, goes for a change. The Ooks are back in the other way. This is Martin again, over the line, shoots, scores! Bree Martin capitalizes on a turnover from the Trojans, who at the end of a shift there looked tired. Ward tried to play it up the middle to Blight, but Blight was headed off for a change. Martin took that puck, came right back the other way, and made no mistake firing it past the blocker hand of Schellenberg. Martin's been another player. I've mentioned Alexander several times for the Trojans, but Martin for the Ooks has been flying around all night. Not surprising to see her get on the board with a great shot there. The first clean look that Schellenberg's been beaten on tonight. Now the Trojans have about 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to get back into this one as they trail by 2. We've seen 3 goals here in this third period. First coming off the stick of Tamron Ward. And since then, Bree Martin has scored the third to give the Ooks a 2-goal lead. Ooks control this one behind the net. That's Harden with it. She's in a battle with Kirk. Pernack comes in, helps her, feeds it out front to Brown. Brown's able to play it to the side where Gotkin comes up with it. Plays it up the middle. That's picked off by an Ooks defender and played back in. Now Brown back with the Ooks forward right on her. Plays it across to Kirk. Kirk fires it up the wall. That's blocked by Crakey. She comes around, plays it to the point. A one-timer, stopped by Schellenberg. Rebound in front, cleared by Brown. Now it's Little with the puck. She feeds it back to the point. They look to get it on from the point, but that's blocked by the Trojans and cleared just outside their zone. And again, we've seen, like we've seen, especially in the second period, these Ooks players are just swarming the Trojans anytime they get the puck out of their own zone. There's a far out shot from Crakey, gloved easily by Schellenberg and hung onto. There will be a face-off coming up to her right as there are now 5 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in this third. The Trojans trailing by 2. After the first period, the shots were 10-10 and what was a great effort by the Trojans. Since it is now 42-18 for the Ooks, who have come out flying, especially in this third period. Piper Alexander, captain of the Trojans, has it behind the net. Looked to play D to D, but it went off the outside of the post. She has it back. Loses it, but it's back to Wiley. Wiley plays it up. This goes off the stick, if an Ooks forward, it'll go out of play. Will be another face-off in the Trojan zone. The good news here for the Trojans is you have Alexander on the ice taking this draw. Isn't able to win that one. However, she's been creating havoc all night long. But not on this shift. A scramble in front. A shot from the point was originally blocked. Schellenberg wasn't able to pick up on it. And that was Cassidy Chandro who ended up beating her on the blocker side. So it appears fatigue is just starting to kick in for this Trojans team who's battled so hard all night against one of the best teams in the league. After a valiant effort through the first 40, even 50 minutes, it appears the wheels are falling off a bit here as fatigue is starting to catch in. The Ooks put it back behind the net. Martin forces a turnover. Martin's in the slot, plays it back to the point. Gets it back again from a sharp angle. Martin shoots, and that's gloved by Schellenberg, who gets a few whacks after in front and doesn't like it. I think that was Paquette that gave her a few shots after that save, and she let her know she wasn't happy. Gave her a nice face wash. And then a Trojans defender ended up coming down and pulling Paquette to the ice. However, the referee, realizing what happened there, it looks like he's just going to give Paquette the minor. A 2-minute minor for slashing for Paquette, which is the right call. As mentioned, Schellenberg grabbed that puck out of the air, a nice save, and then received a few whacks after, and clearly wasn't happy about it. Now the Trojans will head to the power play down 3 with 4 minutes and 27 seconds left, and they'll call a timeout here as they're looking to do anything they can to get back into this game. We mentioned just how important of one this is for them as they're looking to catch up to the Broncos. Not sure how the Broncos are faring tonight, but heading into tonight's game, the Trojans trailed them by 10 points for that final playoff spot. And it looked like they were about to pull off an upset here tonight, and still could. Down 3 now, but when Tamron Ward scored that goal to tie the game early in the third, it seemed like they had all the momentum. But shortly after, Martin was able to score to restore the Ooks lead, and they haven't looked back since. As mentioned, 4 minutes and 27 seconds left, down 3. So if you're the Trojans, you really want to get pucks on net right away here and do anything you can to chip into this lead in a hurry. That draw's won by the Ooks. Played behind the net and played back the other way. Able to be kept in at the point by Wiley, plays it down low. Sharp angle shot. That's held on to, no rebound by McMullen. That was Blight with the shot, the Trojans' leading scorer this season. And as mentioned, those are the kind of shots you want to try and get on net. Just put pucks on from anywhere at this point. Try and do anything you can to lower that lead, as time is ticking down in this third period. That puck's once again kept in by Wiley at the point. She plays it across, and Alexander's there. Good keep in by her. However, her shot's blocked and fired down by the Ooks. Schellenberg out to play it. She does to Alexander, but the hard forechecking Harden's able to break it up. Ooks kept it in momentarily, and now it's back. They have it at their own blue line. That's played up to Harden. She spins back, plays it to the point. The Ooks are able to fire it to center ice where Wiley's back on it. Plays it back to Alexander. Alexander up to Blight, who chips it in. Ooks back on it with Kaylee in on the forecheck. The Ooks get it back. They play it back to the Trojans' blue line, where it's Earhart playing the puck up to Kaylee. She spins at the blue line, still has it on her stick, but turned over. Now an odd man rush for the Ooks. Looked to be fed across, but a good play by Schmidt. Gets a skate on it to block up what would have been a 2-on-1. And now with 3 minutes remaining and 35 seconds left in this power play, Schellenberg is off to the bench for an extra attacker. So a brief 6-on-4 here for the Trojans. Schmidt has it back on the point, feeds it back to Ward. Ward a shot. That's blocked. The Ooks have it. That's fired on nets. And that will go in. A shot from inside her own blue line. I believe that was Josie Nichols. Made no mistake. Was able to block the low shot from Ward and then fire it into the dead center of the net to extend the lead to 5-1. Schellenberg will come back to her net now. Just 17 seconds remaining in the Trojans' power play. Ooks are able to win this draw. That's fired down the ice by Robertson. Schellenberg's out to play it. Leaves it for Beloma, who was tripped behind the net, giving the Ooks forward some time to walk that in front. Chandro, who scored the 4th goal in this one. However, Schellenberg's up to the task there, and Chandro did appear to give a bit of a late tap to Schellenberg there again, who was talking to the referee. You can see her shaking her head. She wasn't happy with it. There's been a few of those. I think the ref's telling her he understands. He saw the first one. Of course, he wants to do everything he can to keep this game from getting out of hand. Trojans won that draw. It's back to Beloma. She turns it up ice. Beloma's up to center, still with it on her stick. Cuts to the middle. Past the blue line, feeds it across. Shot on net there from the Trojans goes just wide. Battle for it in behind the Ooks net. They play it up the wall, where Brown looked to keep it in, but it got chipped by her. Now Gotkin comes back. She fires it up her own boards. And it's corralled and brought back by Earhart, who fires it down the length of the ice. No icing. And on it is Blight, but it's played up by the Ooks. That's Robertson, feeds it across ice at her own blue line. And the Ooks are coming the other way with it. They get to the blue line. That's Little with the puck. Spins behind, feeds it out front. Bit of a scramble here. The Ooks come away with it. That's Martin. She loses it behind the net as Schmick makes a good play to poke it away. And the Trojans are coming the other way. Earhart with the puck at the far blue line. Tries to feed it in the middle to a streaking Kira Stewart. But that's sent away by an Ooks defender. The Ooks come back with it again. Up over the blue line. That's Crakey. She gets rid of it and then sends Stewart to the ice. Bit of a scramble, and Wiley comes up with it for the Trojans. She's up past her blue line. She's at center ice, and she'll get it in deep. Just 45 seconds remaining here in the third period. What started as a 1-0 lead heading into this third period for the Ooks is now a 5-1 lead. It was tied up briefly by Tamron Ward, but the Ooks were able to score 2 in short fashion, and then a third on an empty net to give them a 5-1 lead. The Trojans, however, still battling this one. Ward had it behind the net, had the puck knocked loose. Bit of a scramble for it on the half wall. The Ooks play it back. And coming over the blue line for the Ooks is Harden. She gets it poked from her by the stick of Brown. Kibblewhite was in behind her to try and pick it up, but that's blown dead for an offside. Just 7 seconds remaining with the face-off outside the Trojan zone to the left of Schellenberg. The Ooks win that draw back to the point. One final shot on net from Harden, sails just wide. And that'll end this one. A game that through 2 periods was anyone's contest. Both teams exchanging several great scoring opportunities. Both goaltenders were fantastic throughout. Schellenberg making a number of saves in the first and second period to keep her team in it. Ended up stopping 38 of the 43 shots that came her way. And as good as those stats are, in all honesty, she was even better than it shows, making several great saves in this one to keep her team close. At the other end, Cindy McMullen turned aside 18 of the 19 shots she faced. Also making several great saves to keep her team in that game, especially when it was tied at 1 apiece. The only goal that she allowed came off a breakaway to Tamara Ward early into the first. As now we get set for our players in the game. For the Ooks, that will be Jessica Engelbrecht, who scored the first goal early in the first to give them a 1-0 lead. And for the Trojans, Samantha Wiley made several great plays in the defensive end, breaking up a number of Ooks scoring chances on the night. But that will mark the end of this one. So as mentioned, coming into this game, the Ooks trailed the Queens by just 1 point for first place. So depending on how the Queens fare, they may be in first now. As for the Trojans, they still trail the Olds Broncos by a significant margin for that 4th and final playoff spot. But that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for tomorrow night as the Trojans will head back to NAIT to take on the Ooks in Edmonton.